of the Eagle Historical Society and honored to read you this tribute to Aurel Baker Pardee. She was a World War I Red Cross nurse. Aurel Baker Pardee was an American nurse who served in the American Red Cross during World War I. She and her sister Alice Baker grew up in Eagle in the farmhouse next to St. Teresa's Church. Aurel Baker trained as a nurse in Chicago in 1912. She was sent to work in a field hospital in Kiev, along with a complete Red Cross field hospital. Later, she transferred to France, where she served as a nurse in military hospitals near the front lines. She cared for wounded soldiers, often working long hours in difficult conditions. Despite the danger and the emotional toil of her work, Pardee remained dedicated to her patients and was known for her compassion and kindness. In 1920, she was hired as the first public health nurse in Waukesha County. She married Harold Pardee in 1925 and continued to farm the homestead until his death in 1949. She was a member of the Eagle United Methodist Church and the Eagle American Legion Auxiliary. She played the piano in the Methodist Church for many, many years. Pardee's service as a nurse during World War I is a testament to her courage, dedication, and selflessness. Her legacy lives on as a reminder of the sacrifices made by countless men and women who served their country during times of war. We honor her memory and express our gratitude for her service and sacrifice. Thank you.
that you know about the role of women in the military and on the home front during World War II. During World War II, women played a significant role both in the military and on the home front. As the men went off to fight in the war, women were called upon to take up the roles left behind to them. Here are some of the ways women contributed to the war effort. Women served in the military in various roles, including as nurses, secretaries, mechanics, and pilots. The Women's Army Corps, or WWII, was established in 1942, and women served in the Army as clerks, drivers, and radio operators. The Navy also created a women's branch called the Women Accepted for Volunteer Emergency Service, or known as WAVES. And the Coast Guard created the Women's Reserve SPARS. Women served in combat zones as well, performing duties such as driving supply trucks and operating anti-aircraft guns. During World War II, women signed up with the Army and Navy Nurse Corps for service in the Philippine Islands. Of the 99 nurses known to have served in or at Bataan, 22 escaped before the final fall of the Philippines in 1942. The remaining 77, the largest group of women prisoners of war in American history, were repatriated in 1945. To the men with which they served and to whom they ministered, they became known as the Angels of Bataan. Women also played a significant role on the home front, working in factories and manufacturing plants to produce war materials. Rosie the Riveter became a symbol of the women who worked in factories during the war. Women worked in industries such as airplane manufacturing, ammunition production, and shipbuilding. With many men off to war, women also stepped in to work on farms and in agriculture to keep the country fed. The Women's Land Army was established to recruit women to work on farms and grow crops. Women also contributed to the war effort by volunteering with organizations such as the American Red Cross and the USO. They collected supplies, wrote letters to soldiers, and provided support to military families. Thank you.
while other girls attend their favorite cocktail bar, sipping dry martinis, munching caviar. There's a girl who's really putting them to shame. Rosie is her name. All the day long, whether rain or shine, she's a part of the assembly line. She's making history, working for victory. Rosie, the riveter, keeps a sharp lookout for sabotage, sitting up there on the fuselage. That little frail can do more than a male can do. Rosie, the riveter. Rosie's got a boyfriend, Charlie. Charlie, he's a Marine. Rosie is protecting Charlie, working overtime on the riveting machine. When they gave her a production E, she was proud as a girl could be. There's something true about red, white, and blue about Rosie, the riveter. Everyone stops to admire the scene. Rosie at work on the B-19. She never twittery, nervous or jittery. Rosie, the riveter. What if she's smeared full of oil and grease, doing her bit for the old Lend-Lease? She keeps the gang around, they love to hang around. Rosie, the riveter. Rosie buys a lot of war bonds. That girl really has sense. Wishes she could purchase more bonds, putting all her cash into national defense. Senator Jones, who is in the know, shouted these words on the radio. Berlin will hear about, Moscow will cheer about. Rosie, the riveter.
My name is Dana Houk. It's my honor to read to you about the role of women in the military during the Korean and Vietnam Wars. During the Korean and Vietnam Wars, the role of women in the military was limited to non-combat roles. Women were primarily assigned to support roles, such as nursing, clerical work, and communications. In Korea, women served in the Army Nurse Corps, the Women's Army Corps, otherwise known as WWII, and the Navy Nurse Corps. They were responsible for providing medical care to wounded soldiers and performing administrative tasks, such as maintaining records and managing supplies. In Vietnam, women also served in the Army Nurse Corps, as well as in the Air Force, Navy, and Marine Corps. Their roles included providing medical care to injured soldiers, operating radio equipment, and processing intelligence data. Despite their important contributions, women in the military during the Korean and Vietnam Wars faced significant discrimination and harassment. They were not allowed to serve in combat roles, and they were often paid less than their male counterparts. Additionally, they were subject to strict grooming and dress codes and were often subjected to sexual harassment and assault. It wasn't until 1976 that women were officially allowed to attend military academies, and in 1993, the Department of Defense lifted the ban on women serving in combat roles. Today, women serve in all branches of the military in a variety of roles, including combat positions.
So before I get back to the script, I'm going to tell Alli, I had a song that I hummed to myself very quietly over in Vietnam. It was, "Hey Mr. Custer, please Mr." Anyway, so let's pause for a moment to remember the sacrifice of all those whose names are engraved on our memorial wall and our loved ones whose memorials we treasure in our hearts. Thank you all very much for joining us this afternoon. We appreciate the services of all the women in our community who have served our country through challenging times, and especially our featured speaker, Alli Chase. Thank you. I'd like to acknowledge the Eagle Lions Club sponsored our entire event today. We thank them for the generosity as well as their service to our nation. Special thanks to the Kettle Moraine Blues Band, who for taking us back in time, patriotic music, and music from Barry Sadler. Thank you, Roxanne Ashroff and Kathy Helgeson. Did I get it? Okay. Bringing you beautiful handcrafted to honor our guest. And we appreciate the members of the Eagle Historical Society, Sharon Bradshaw, Pat Hawes, Chris Hughes, and Dana Houk, who explained the important roles women have played in throughout history. Our museum is open this afternoon for you to explore. Traveling exhibit, "I Am Not Invisible," from the Wisconsin Veterans Museum. It has been designed to increase the awareness and generate dialogue about the role of women in the military. Please enjoy the treat by Alli and Dinah Hall, my sisters, and their team of volunteers for the Eagle Historical Society with their treats over there. We certainly hope you enjoyed today's program. Thank you.